Hey guys, I hope everybody is staying well and sane in this challenging time. But I wanted to take the time to give you some tips on keeping your respiratory system efficient and prepared for any potential need for clearing the lungs. There's a lot of talk about there's a lot of things, great things out there about keeping your immunity up, but I thought this would be a great time to sort of talk you through what you can do as far as an exercise for getting your diaphragm efficient and strong enough to help with coughing and being able to clear and being able to expand your lung tissue, your alveoli, to be able to exchange and be big and open, so things are less likely to get stuck. So you're in those lung tissues. And the other benefit of this too is to get you better at breathing in through your nose, making it more natural for you to be able to breathe in through your nose. And as you should know, the nose is that first line of defense from bacteria and pathogens getting into your lungs. And so if we can breathe in through our nose, that gives us an opportunity to trap those pathogens and start fighting them off instead of just immediately getting them into our lungs. So one of these great tips is to first of all teach you how to get, in order for you to get your lungs to fully expand and you be able to breathe in through your nose comfortably, you have to be able to get that diaphragm to exhale and get those ribs to draw all the way down before you take your inhale. So if you think about your diaphragm, here, your ribs, these front ribs are the outside of that diaphragm, the lining. They come in and around, and they actually attach the diaphragm, two domes, each one of them actually attach on either side of your spine. But let's focus with this part. So in order for you to get a maximal inhale, which is really a suctioning, pistoning, pressurized type of activity, it's not a big muscular action, it is pressure. And so if you can get that dome of your diaphragm into a big dome before you take your inhale, that's going to ensure that you get as much opening through that pressurizing of the respiratory system. So we can't really expand fully in our lungs if we don't start with a good dome that's going to have a place to descend and draw. It's like a suctioning kind of action. So you'll see me show you how to get that air all the way out. So I'm using a balloon, which is something that is very highly recommend that if you can get your hands on a balloon. But you can also use a straw, or you can, if you're dealing with a child, you can teach them to blow bubbles, anything to get that full and exhale before you start taking an inhale. So you will see me do that. Okay, it's important to get those ribs all the way down, and then when you go to take a breath in, okay, you start with that rib cage down, and you start with that diaphragm in a nice dome, and you initiate that inhale. It should come purely through the nose. And so in order for that to occur, if you're using a balloon, you'll just keep that seal around that balloon. But if you're not, you want to keep your lips totally sealed. And then you want to also bring that tongue up onto the palate of your mouth when you go to take an inhale. Okay, that's going to help with the pressurizing of this entire respiratory system. And then you want to draw air in through your nose only, and you want to envision your rib cage expanding in 3 dimensions: forward, back, out to the side. We're not just talking about expanding here. We actually want to keep that proportionally still. That diaphragm needs to have something that it's anchoring onto to create that suction and that descension. So a full exhale, you can use a balloon, you can use a straw, you can breathe out with bubbles, okay, with kids or anything like that, but just full exhales, trying to really feel your abdominals engage, and keep it good, really exhale, and hold that for a good 5 seconds before you draw the tongue up on the roof of your mouth and draw air in through your nose. If you practice this, enough through the day, you will become more efficient at just exchanging fluids and oxygens and gases and through those lungs, and keep them from being less sticky, keep things from getting more, if you do get any sort of a pathogen or a foreign substance in those lungs, they can, they're more open, there's more flowing going on, they're less likely to get congested more than necessary. And you'll also be better at, efficiently, you'll be getting a better oxygen exchange, you're gonna feel that respiration just feel easier, and you're gonna get really good at being able to breathe in through your nose, which is really important. So let me show you how this works. I'm gonna use a balloon, okay? So be best to sit with your feet flat on the ground somewhere, you know, that you're not lounging. You wanna sit up with your feet flat, ideally at least a 90-degree bend in your knees. Maybe even higher, like closer to it, like think about a squat position. You can even bring your knees a little higher, but definitely with them on the ground. I don't want you sitting way forward, you know, on the pelvis. I need you to sit back a little bit. So you're not sitting with this big open belly. I need you to kind of keep your ribs right over top of your hips. And so you'll get a full exhale. Okay, now during that time, you'll pause for 5 seconds. Then you bring the tongue up, breathe in through your nose. Okay, so great activity to get your lungs just, you know, every time of the year, not just when we're dealing with this special virus that's going around. Great for allergy seasons, people that might have asthma, just preventing any sicknesses from really getting stuck in those lungs. So great activity, especially now. Add it to your immunity boosting and exercise program that you've got going on. Try to breathe deeply, breathe all the way out. Feel those abs kick in, tongue in the roof of the mouth, seal those lips. And allow that chest to expand fully. Do this activity 5 times in a setting, you know, and then repeat it a couple times a day, and you'll be helping your lungs get more efficient and prepared for anything. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys are having a great day.